Mr. Wilson, you state you are on the verge of a divorce because your wife believes that fidelity is optional. You say that during your marriage, she cheated on you with both friends and exes, which you believe resulted in the birth of her son, 8-month-old Waylon. You say you are not Waylon's biological father, and you intend to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Wilson, while you admit to stepping out on your husband, you claim Mr. Wilson knows full well he is baby Waylon's father and is only denying him in an attempt to shirk his responsibilities. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Wilson, what do you mean she believes fidelity is optional?
Your Honor, she is a cheater. She's cheated from 2 weeks of us being together in the beginning. She lies a lot. She's been a liar ever since then. And there was a time when we got in an argument. She told me to leave. I left for one night and I came back. The next morning she was begging me to come back. I came back and there was a hickey on her neck. It was about the size of a baseball. And she said that her dog had jumped off the bed and hit her, the nose of her dog hit her in the neck.
Okay, so you feel like you've had example after example, situation after situation, where Ms. Wilson's response to the situation is sketchy.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Wilson, why are you cheating on Mr. Wilson? What is the reason?
Okay, well, all that is true. He also cheated. He did the same things. So, he's not innocent, and he wants to act like he's not Waylon's daddy, and he is.
Okay, but you understand that the reason why we're here is because of the paternity of your baby.
Yes.
If you're gonna do the tit for tat, if you're gonna do the back and forth, if you're gonna play his game, you're gonna lose. Because we've got a baby now, 8 months old, and we don't know for certain who his father is. So do you have any other evidence, Mr. Wilson, that would make us understand why you're so doubtful?
Yes, Your Honor. On Valentine's Day, I went and bought her some flowers, and we were gonna meet at a family member's house of mine, and I got there before she did, and my family member's boyfriend at the time had told me that she was there a couple days before Valentine's Day, telling them that she was gonna leave me that following Friday. So I felt stupid.
Okay,
Oh, you came with the flowers and they informed you she's about to leave you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So after that, what happens? You just figure out how to continue on in the marriage? You just, all right, I'll sweep that under the rug, and what happens?
Not long after that, maybe 2 weeks later, she does leave, and I was at my house. And
she actually does leave the home?
Yes, Your Honor.
But only because there was so much drama. There was everybody was just harassing me. He was constantly on my case, and I couldn't handle it no more. Not with two kids at the time, and it was just too much of a hassle.
During that time, Your Honor, my friend was over, and he was using my phone, and he just had asked me if he could use my car, and I told him yes. And he gives my phone back to me. So I get on social media thinking it's my social media. It was still logged in his stuff. So I go on there thinking I'm in mine, and I'm reading messages that I know I didn't send. And it was her and him texting her, telling him to ask if he could borrow my car so he could come see her. So
what?
Yes, Your Honor. So I call her and I ask her about it, and she says she didn't say anything. She just hung up.
When did this happen?
Like maybe 3 weeks.
After the flowers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so did you start sleeping with your husband's friend?
Yes, I did. I slept with him in April, but I conceived my son in early March. When I went to the doctor, they told me that my conception dates was March 1st to March 15th.
That's low, Miss Wilson. No, I mean, you something else. You told his friend to borrow his car to come pick you up. So go get my husband's car to come get me.
I didn't ever say to go get his car and come pick me up, no.
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you just sleep with your husband's friend?
Well, when he don't give you no attention, don't give your kids no attention, and gives everybody else attention, you gotta give his attention somehow.
I guess she answered that, Jerome.
On point.
So you decided, I'm gonna go and date his friend, have sex with his friend, even though I'm still married to my husband, and you find out about this through these messages.
Yes.
So do you ever say anything to your friend, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
We ended up getting into a fight, and I ended up leaving, and they stayed together after that.
And now you believe he is Waylon's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wilson, you testified that this started with the friend in April.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Let's look at the conception dates and see what's going on here. When was Waylon born?
December 15th, 2017.
December 15th, 2017. Was he a full-term baby or not?
He was born at 38 weeks.
38 weeks. So that would make the window of conception April 1st to April 7th, 2017.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Your answer, so I guess we'll see.
I guess we will.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I mean, I'm almost 100% positive he is the father.
Almost 100%.
Can I add in
Almost 100%.
Can I add in something, Your Honor? I've heard her say herself that she thinks it could be his.
Step up to the podium, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I've heard her
State
say...
your name for the court since you jumping in the conversation.
Krista Guyton.
Ms. Guyton, in what relationship are you to Mr. Wilson?
We're together. We have a 1-month-old.
But I'm the bad guy.
Oh, so you're his girlfriend
And
and
they
you
got
have a
a baby.
1-month-old
With him.
with him, but you still married to her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, ain't this messy? So what did you want to add, Miss Guyton?
I've heard her say herself multiple times that it could be Taylor's and could be the friends that she cheated on him.
So she has said to you multiple times that
Both
they're...
of us. Yes, she said
Oh,
it.
even to you, Mr. Wilson.
I
Yes,
said
ma'am.
they have that he has features of both Mr. Wilson and the friend.
Well, Ms. Wilson, you started your testimony by saying that you know that he is the father. But then when we uncovered the conception calendar and realized that the window of
I mean,
conception
there is a possibility. I'm not going to sit here and act like there's not, but the chances of him being the other person's, the friends, is slim. Like, seriously.
So after you hear that testimony, Mr. Wilson, that in fact, April 1st to April 7th is the window of time that Waylon was conceived, I'm sure that even further fuels your doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a relationship with Waylon?
No, Your Honor. The whole time she was going through her pregnancy, she was with him. She and him both were posting on social media that they were going to have a baby. They were going to have a family. So I stepped back and you know.
And
gave
the
them
reason
space.
why was because he stepped up when you stepped down. You didn't even come around for your girls for the longest time.
I mean, if you're having sex with a friend, I'm supposed to stick around?
You're supposed to come around for your kids.
And so hold on, Ms. Wilson, so you're saying that's true? That when you had sex with
I
a
did,
friend,
yes,
you all
because-
fell out, and you and the friend start posting pictures like you two were having a baby together.
Yes, because he was the one that stepped up and was like, I'm going to be here for this kid. But then later on he stepped down too, but
Don't they always?
yes, they do. He's talking about how I'm such a bad person and everything.
I never
I
said
don't
she
think
was a
he's
bad
ever
person.
said
But
you're a
he's-
bad person.
No.
Well, no, but
and
he's
I never
making
claimed
me out.
to be perfect.
No,
I do
because
make
you're
mistakes.
doing the same thing that I did to you, to Krista.
And what's that?
You've
What
been
did I do
doing
to
it
you?
this whole
What
time
did I
y'all
do to
been
you?
together.
Answer me that.
What?
What did I do to you?
You ain't done nothing to me. You've done a lot to me, actually. If we get technical, you've cheated just
What's
as
he
much
doing
as
to
I
me?
have.
What is he
Has
doing?
he not
to-
slept with me while he's been with you?
Not recently.
No,
Actually,
Not since we got
within
back
the
together.
past 3 months, yeah.
You are, okay.
Yeah.
So
After
wait,
we got
you're
back
saying
together,
that
we had-
you're still having sex with your husband while he's with Miss Guyton?
No, we
No.
haven't been recently, but he has in the past.
Around like Halloween last year.
No.
Yeah.
But
I have.
every time we
No.
have broken up would be because of them, and they would have sex at that time. But we were never together, only on Halloween last year.
Okay.
Because he has no reason to lie. She told me everything, then he told me everything, and it all added up. Only one time while we was together.
It just keeps getting worse.
Your Honor, might I add
So
something?
you're cheating on your girlfriend with your wife. I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that's possible. But it is, because it's happening. What in the world is going on here with you people? You're young people, and I know you don't know whether you're coming or you're going. But this is very convoluted. When you have Waylon, who's with you? Who's in the hospital?
No one.
You have the baby all by yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I can see that hurts. That had to hurt. What did that feel like, Ms. Wilson?
It was hard.
And what were you thinking at that time? Were you regretting the whole thing and you feel like you should have just been with your husband? Like, what could you be thinking after all of that?
I did regret it. I regretted it a lot, but we made mistakes. We both did things that we didn't mean to do because we were young.
Did you tell your husband, Mr. Wilson, I'm having the baby. If you want to come up here, I do believe there's a good chance.
I did, and he told me that he would be up there and then never showed up.
So you just went through with it by yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is his name on the birth certificate?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, in the state of Georgia, if you were married, if the father's not present during birth, the legal wife can sign the father's name on the birth certificate. If she was so sure that I was the father, why did she
Am I a
not sign my
lawyer?
name?
Did I know that?
And so you believe, Mr. Wilson, that she had the opportunity to put your name on that birth certificate if she truly believed you were the biological father?
Yes, Your Honor. But I have seen, there was a time not too long ago, I was visiting my kids. She started crying, and I asked what was wrong. She said, do you want to know why I always take Waylon to her friend's house? Because every time I go over there, he's never there. That's why I have no relationship with him. Well, she said she can't stand to look at him because every time she looks at him, she sees the other guy.
Wow.
I never said that. I said that he has features of the other guy, but he also has features of you.
This is so complicated. It's a baby born within a marriage. The husband's not on the birth certificate. And you say, as a mother, you sitting there comparing features, saying some parts of him look like my husband and some parts of him look like this other guy.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if your husband is not Waylon's biological father, then what?
I guess I don't know. I really don't. Because I can't even be around the other guy.
Can I ask you something else? Are you also hoping that if he's the father, maybe at some point you all can get back together and be a family?
No, Your Honor, I don't want that.
You're okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
You've moved on from the marriage.
I have. Yes,
But you
Your Honor.
do want him to be your
I
child.
just want him to step up and be a daddy to not only Waylon, but to my other two too, because he is slacked really bad. I have them 24/7 and he gets them once a month for maybe a weekend, and that's it. I want him to step up. Just like I told him, I don't want his money. I don't want none of that. I want him to be a dad to his kids. That's all I ask.
That's exactly what we want, if Waylon is his biological child. And I think I've heard enough testimony, and I'm ready for the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostic, and they read as follows. In the case of Wilson versus Wilson, when it comes to 8-month-old Waylon Wilson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Wilson, you are the father. Wow.
I told you.
That's your little boy.
And knowing that now, I can have a relationship.
You have missed 8 months of his life.
But whose fault is that, Haley?
You could have still stepped up, Taylor. Do you know how much stuff you have missed from him?
Yeah, but when you're going, we're having a kid, and then you're going to jump to the next person, he's the dad. You can't do that. You got to be an adult. Be a mother.
Be a father. Be there for your kids, all of them, not just one.
Well, if this court case was about the other kids, there's reasons too, Haley, and you know that.
Well, listen, this is why we're here, and this is why we do this. We do this to get clarity. We do this to get the truth. This says to me that there are 2 other children in this world that probably think they have a dad. Meanwhile, every day their father picks them up, he's looking at them thinking, I don't even know if these are my kids. Mr. Hooks, you say for 3 long years the defendant, Miss Payne, has been falsely accusing you of fathering her 3-year-old daughter, Nevaeh.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
believe today's results will finally free you from her allegations. Ms. Hooks, you say your son is being taken advantage of by a gold digger who is 27 years his junior.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Payne, you say Mr. Hooks is Nevaeh's father, and today you intend to prove it to him and his mommy.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Hooks, why do you believe your son is being taken advantage of? Explain to the court.
She is a gold digger. I don't believe that he is the father of her child because she lies. She cannot be trusted.
So you believe she's after your son for his money, a gold
Yes,
digger?
yes.
And what money do you have, Mr. Hooks? Just asking.
I'm struggling, Your Honor. I don't have no money. I don't have no money.
But what you thought, you're saying you thought, she probably thought since you were an older man and more established, it would be somebody that could take care of her.
Yes.
Because you ain't a gold digger if you ain't got no gold. So, Miss Payne, I see that this is really bothering you. What are you feeling in this moment? I can see in your eyes.
Speak up. You had all that to say to me. Don't get quiet. Come on. What is it?
Yes, talk your piece. You accuse my son of being the father of your child, and I know he's not the father of your child. Your child don't look nothing like my son. Nothing like my son. My son had 5 children, and they all look like him, and they got some of me and my 5 grandchildren.
Miss Payne, look at me. Look at me. I do this every day in and day out. This is what I do. When a young woman stands before me and shuts down like this, that says to me that you have doubt. Do you have doubt? If you do, this is where you just be honest.
No.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, honey. But I'm gonna move on. We just taking the long way to the truth, but you better believe it, baby. We gonna get there. We can take the long way if you want, and I'll just be on this journey with you. How'd you meet Mr. Hooks?
Well, Your Honor, I met her in Philadelphia on June in 2014. I was driving and I was going to a deli store, and I happened to see her on the corner, like sipping on a margarita. So I started to talking to her. I was like, "Why you out here by yourself sipping on that?" And she was like, she with her boyfriend. I said, "He's okay seeing you talking to me?" She told me that she just got into a fight, an argument with her boyfriend, another man. So I said, "Well, you want to come take a ride with me?" So.
Right in front of her boyfriend?
Yes.
You said you want to take a ride with me?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
She got in the car and we just took off. We went to my house.
So you get to your house and what happens?
She was still a little tipsy. So, I was talking to her and one thing led to another.
So wait, you were at the store,
Yes.
met Ms. Payne, said you want to take a ride with me. You all went to your house and you had sex
Yes.
that day.
Yes, Your Honor.
Protected sex?
Unprotected.
What are y'all up here doing? Unprotected sex with a girl from the store.
Yes.
Miss Payne, is this true? Is this how you and Mr. Hooks met?
Yes, Your Honor.
So did this turn into a relationship after this? You have this one day, was it a one-night stand, or did you see each other again?
No, he let me move in with him the next day, so we was together.
Lord. So you meet him at the store, you have sex with him at his house, and then he says you can move in with him.
Yes.
Was that because what, y'all thought y'all was so in love after the sex?
That's what she thought, Your Honor.
Well, you let her move in. So what's the point?
I let her stay with me. I mean, it wasn't actually just move in.
You told her she could stay with you.
No, he took me to my boyfriend's house to go pick up all my belongings, and he took me back to his house.
So you said to yourself, if he's letting me move in and stay here, he must really want a relationship with me.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you went and you lived with him.
Yes.
For how long?
From like June till the beginning of September.
Okay, so that's what, June, July, August, about 4 months. You lived with him. During that time, were you all functioning like you were in a relationship?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's not true, Your Honor. That's not true. It was only like 2 months and a half. I left, I broke up with her. I broke up with her, then went back with my ex.
So you brought her in to only throw her out 2.5 months later.
Not really. It just, I
So
went back.
how'd you find out she was pregnant?
I ran to her like maybe a month later, and she tells me her friend and her was walking, and I seen them, and she told me that she was pregnant, like 3 months pregnant.
So when you told him, what was his reaction?
He was happy.
What was his reaction? What did he say?
I was not, Your Honor.
Oh, well, that's my baby. Because we.
I did not, Your Honor. No, I did not. I said I want to take a DNA test, and we went to take the DNA test. Oh, not the DNA test, the pregnancy test, and it said it was how you say that?
Negative.
Yeah, negative. It was negative.
That was before we broke up, though.
Wait a minute. You said the test was negative?
Yes. Yes.
So you took a pregnancy test before the breakup, and it was negative.
Yes, and then
Then, after the breakup, she sees you on the street and says, I'm pregnant and it's yours.
Yes.
So immediately you have doubt.
Yes.
You say we took a pregnancy test before we broke up.
And she went back with another man, the same man that I seen she said she was with, that she had an argument before me.
Then you went back to your other boyfriend, Miss Payne?
Yes, but I was already pregnant.
Did you tell the other boyfriend you were pregnant by him?
Yes, Your Honor.
There you go, Your Honor. So how am I the father then, Your Honor?
Did he believe he was the father?
No,
Yes, he did, because you told me.
Who was with you when Nevaeh was born?
my ex. And he signed her birth certificate.
And he signed her birth certificate.
So how am I the father, Your Honor?
Yes, that's what I like to know.
So you submitted Nevaeh's birth certificate to the court, and under her name, there is a father's name. We blurred it out. But that's your ex's name.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that tells you I'm not the father.
No, that don't tell me nothing. You know what that tells me?
Yes.
Tells me you ain't got no business going out with a young girl that's not even mature enough to come in this courtroom. And testify, not for her 3-week-old child, her 3-year-old child. Can't put two sentences together.
Can't be trusted.
And I'm not gonna let you off the hook. You know why? Because you're a mother. And mothers, we don't ever get let off the hook. And every mother in here better say amen. Amen. Who did you tell her daddy is?
Alfonso.
You tell her that Mr. Hooks is her father?
Yes.
Because she's old enough now where she want to know because other kids know their dad. So who's my dad? Where's daddy? And you say it's Mr. Hooks.
Yes.
Mr. Hooks, do you have a relationship with Nevaeh?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do.
Yes.
So you formed a relationship with her even though you didn't believe she was yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
And why is that?
It's because
He's that type of man. He's that type of man. He will look out for a child and love a child. He's just that type of person. And he has a relationship with her.
So, Miss Payne, what kind of relationship does your ex have with Nevaeh?
He don't have a relationship. He haven't seen her since she was a baby.
that's not true, Your Honor. He had a relationship at the beginning, like maybe 2 years, because she was still seeing him. she was seeing me too. She was like off and on. When she get mad at him, she'll come like talk to me
That's
or be
not
with
true.
me.
So you all actually got back together where you said, we're going to work this out and raise Nevaeh together?
Yeah, on and off when we was on good terms.
What kind of mess is this?
Messy. Very.
Just about Raggedy. You know, I can't stand some Raggedy stuff. It is just Raggedy. And you know what, Miss Payne? How many children you have? Just Nevaeh?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Okay, so you are a young mother who don't know what she's doing. You're not the first, you won't be the last, but sometimes you just gotta be honest. Because this is all over the place. When you're ready to tell the truth, I'm ready to hear it.
Honest, she don't know
Because the
herself.
plaintiffs lie, sometimes the defendants lie, but the DNA never lies. And I can see plain as day, you're lying. You're not testifying to the whole truth.
Judge, well, we will find out today. It's my son is the father of her child. We will know today. Because I do want to know. And
What
he
are you
wants to know
hoping
too.
for? You want to know, but what are you hoping for? Have you come to love this baby? I mean, she's gorgeous.
I'm hoping that that my son is the father.
You
Because
are?
I'm hoping, yes, because he has a bond with the little girl. He really do. So I'm hoping that he is the father.
Mr. Hooks, what are you hoping for?
I like her. I like Nevaeh, but sometimes I don't want her to be my the daughter. I don't want her because of the mother.
Well, since everybody's talking about what they're hoping for, I'm going to talk about what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping, Mr. Hooks, that after this situation is resolved, that you'll stop sniffing up behind young girls. And this is the problem about meeting somebody at the store for 5 minutes, inviting them into your car, taking them back to your house, and having unprotected sex with them. It leads to this. It leads to the point you could potentially have a child by a young woman who's just 5 years away from being a child. You have other things you could be doing with your time and with your life.
Yes.
And with your anatomy.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this frustration, you brought this on yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Because you knew, she told you from the get-go, she had just had an argument with the boyfriend and was there. So you knew she was vulnerable in that moment. And I knew once you said you want to go for a ride, I said, here we go.
Yes.
We on a ride, all right.
Yeah.
And drove yourself straight to paternity court.
Yeah.
So we don't feel badly for you, Miss Payne, and I'm hoping for you that Nevaeh will help you grow up and really get yourself together. I'm concerned about you. I'm tough on young women like yourself because I can see right now you don't have anybody in your life that challenges you, empowers you, and makes you be accountable for the things that you're doing. You just all over the place. And what I hope is at some point you decide that honesty is a better policy. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Hooks versus Payne, when it comes to 3-year-old Nevaeh, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Hooks, you are the father. I see your relief. You can smile, and you can smile, and you can also say it now. If you'd like to be honest. You can just say, I didn't know. I'm glad you are the father, but I didn't know. And it's okay to be honest.
Okay, I didn't know.